and welcome back to another episode of B&B Sports Talk. I'm your host, Rocco, here in the studio with Brandon Hislop. November was a month filled with promise for the Pirate basketball teams and wrestlers. Now that it's March, the question is, did their seasons live up to the hype?
Rocco, we begin with the boys basketball season review. The boys basketball program had not reached the playoffs since 2016, and before that, 2003. As the season started, a pair of promising newcomers and a veteran group of returnees, led by seniors Kieren Gilroy and Corey Lichman, had the Pirates thinking about ending that drought. 3 months later, a 13-8 record landed the Pirates into third place in Conference A1. The Pirates then defeated MacArthur in an overtime thriller here at Mepham, however, stumbled to a tough Lynbrook team in the second round. Rocco filed their game report on the 2018-2019 Pirates.
In a season of highs, lows, and thrillers to end all thrillers, the Mepham Pirates had a successful season in 2019. With the addition of freshman impactful player Richie Vaccaro and a brief stint of production from sophomore Makai Beckett, and the balance of a young core and senior leadership, the Pirates were able to nab third place in Conference A1 and, most importantly, a playoff berth this season. Before the Pirates lost to Lynbrook in the Nassau playoff second round, the Pirates enjoyed a thrilling overtime victory against MacArthur and a packed crowd at home.
We basically haven't won in a really long time in the playoffs, and we were really just excited to continue the journey.
The Pirates, however, are content and determined to improve their status next season.
For me, you can expect me to give it my all and do whatever we can to win a championship. We've come very far as we went from about a 500 team to making to the second round of the playoffs, and we're hoping that we could improve again next year.
With the basketball season over, the Pirates will have a while to wait to get back into high school play. For B&B, I'm Rocco Law.
It really was a successful season, Rocco. A few bumps in the road along the way, but Coach Fallon and the boys have to be proud of the steps forward they took this year.
You're right, Brent. With so many contributions from juniors like Jack Fontanetta, Greg Paul, and freshman Richie Vaccaro, you have to think the Pirates are well positioned to continue their success next season.
One of the things the Pirates will need to replace next year is some of the veteran leadership of seniors like Corey Lichman, Zach D'Ambra, and Kieren Gilroy. Rocco, you got to sit down with Kieren Gilroy in this week's presentation of The View. Now we'll take a look.
In this week's segment, senior boys varsity basketball all-county point guard Kieren Gilroy joins the show. Welcome, Kieren.
Thank you. Pleasure being here, Rocco.
So, great season for the program as a whole, running out of the gates early, firing on all cylinders, and hitting some roadblocks halfway through the season. What do you think was the key to getting out of those skids?
Getting out of those skids, we really had to put our faith in the coach, as well as also just working hard in practice and putting trust in each other as teammates.
And Fallon definitely has some experience with that. He's been here for almost 15 years.
Yes, he has a lot of experience.
Now, perseverance is key in any sport. I think you'd agree. The season's coming down to the wire, big games at Calhoun and Great Neck South. And what was the most important thing to keep in mind and not lose focus where it mattered most?
We just had to stay confident. If we stay confident, we knew we would hit our shots and we would play good defense and just put trust in each other that we would always make the right decision, and it worked.
Now, you guys grabbed third place in the conference and hosted MacArthur in the first round at home in a game that felt like Game 7. What was the mindset heading into overtime, and what was a remarkable comeback by the Generals?
We were very upset giving up that huge lead we had, which was almost 22 points. But me, Corey, and Zach, our senior leaders, just grabbed everyone's attention and just told everyone that this is our game, and we just went out there with confidence in the overtime period.
Now, you guys had a couple of games like that during the season. What was made this special that this was going to be the game that you guys broke that cold spell?
We just had to learn from the games that we lost. We lost twice against MacArthur in overtime, and we just learned that if we just put faith in each other, we'll win.
That's definitely a huge accomplishment for the program, though, in your senior year. First program playoff win since the 90s. And also, you were part of a historic Mepham soccer team that were county champions for the first time in school history. Now, 5-10 years down the road, we go and think, man, I was part of something special during my time in Mepham.
Of course, I'm always still gonna have the relationship with my county champion soccer teammates, and when I look back at it, it's just gonna be amazing, just knowing that I left an impact here at Mepham High School.
Now, looking down the road with you and fellow seniors Zach D'Ambra and Corey Lichman graduating, what's next for Pirates basketball?
We definitely have a bright future with point guard Richie Vaccaro and Greg Paul getting all conference. they're going to have to step up as leaders as well. And with Jack Fontanetta always being able to score, we're going to have a very bright future ahead of us.
And we're just about run out of time for this segment. Thank you, Kieren, for joining the show, and good luck in your next stage in your sports career at Oswego for NCAA soccer.
Thank you for having me, Rocco.
A great season from the boys. Kieren Gilroy really had an impact on the Pirates season this year.
Right, Brandon. Amazing that he and Corey Lichman got to be a part of both the soccer team's success and the basketball team's quest for a return to the playoffs.
The boys weren't the only Pirate winter sport to see time in the playoffs, Rocco.
You're right. The Lady Pirates coach Jim Mulvey has had 15 seasons at the helm of the program. I don't think he's ever had the year quite like this.
You start with the graduation of seniors like Marianne Bagonis and Cara Castaldo. Then, sophomore intern player Ariana McLean moves out of the district, and then Mulvey loses his starting point guards, B&B's own Lori De La Croce. Nobody would blame Coach Mulvey if he just threw in the towel right there.
But that's not Coach Mulvey, Brandon, and Coach H. They dug deep and they built a team with the players they had left and won a team. The Lady Pirates jumped out to a 10-1
You just have to play really strong, hard, aggressive defense.
Those two girls played a huge role
and
in
work hard in
the
practice.
young Pirate squad.
It was also junior Jillian Mayer, who had never played the point before, who took over for the injured De La Croce and did a tremendous job running the point. But the real catalyst for the season was sophomore Julia Rollinson. She averaged 17 points per game and just found a way to take over every game she played in.
And you add in timely scoring for freshmen like Alexa Ferrara and Riley Clark and Haley Guerrero, and it all brought the Pirates a chance to share of a conference title on the last game of the season against Great Neck South, in a game that B&B was at, but Rollinson almost wasn't.
That's right, Rocco. She started the morning in Florida. 2 fights and a long drive later, she's on the court dominating the score sheet and leading the Pirates to a conference title.
Considering where the season started for the Pirates and Coach Mulvey, and the girls have to view this season as a success.
And the future also looks bright for the Pirates, Rocco. Rollinson will be a year older. They'll get De La Croce back for a full season, and players like Jillian Mayer and the trio of freshmen prove that they can play on this level.
Now, Brandon, you have to give a ton of credit to Coach H and Coach Mulvey. This was a brilliant season, and what I mean by brilliant, they took a squad where junior Lori De La Croce was injured. She's injured. Now you have to rely on some senior leadership and a boatload of underclassmen. Now, really what they used this season was a formula. You have Caroline Keene outside shooting beyond the arc, and you give the ball to sophomore Julia Rollinson. She drives to the basket, and that was the formula they used every game to jump out to a 10-0 record.
Yeah, Rocco, I feel like another big factor for them was they just had the edge to win. They wanted to win. They didn't want to lose. They didn't want to stand for anything. They knew that they had something to prove. With an edge on their back, it just gave them more fire to win the conference, and that's exactly what they did.
Right, I felt like they had a chip on their shoulder. They had to prove something all season. Now, Brandon, turning to the mat, there's only one way to look at this year's Bellmore wrestling team. We were there at the Spring Garden tournament, and for their match against Calhoun, and we go to see some great wrestling. Senior Kyle Alton finished his Mepham wrestling career with the second most wins in Mepham school history. Kyle's teammate junior Matt Haggai finished 8th in the state in his weight class and earned all county honors as well.
And looking at the rest of the team, seniors Jack Malloy and John Koenig had great years, and junior Ryan Haggai and heavyweight freshman Miguel Rivera just missed trips to the States. The future of Pirate Wrestling looks bright, and we'll be looking forward to the Spring Gardener tournament every year.
But Brandon, what a great winter sports season here at Mepham. Well, we hope to expand our coverage here at B&B during springtime. We got boys and girls across softball, baseball, especially at SUNY SUNY Farmingdale, where we hope to be playing in that game. But also B&B will also be there to cover it. And what a great season all forward, Mepham, and we look forward to the spring season. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Sports Talk. Make sure to check us out on our social media at B&B Sports for all of our sports content. As always, I'm Rocco Law, Brandon Hislop in the B&B studio, and we'll see you next time where we are always talking sports.